So Tesla has just reported their Q4 and 2023 full year results. Let's have a look at some quick highlights, and then we'll share some notes from the call. I've been wondering when this would happen. Finally, Tesla has realized a one-time non-cash tax benefit of $5.9 billion, a trick they had up their sleeve for some time. For 2023, Tesla's operating cash flow was $13.3 billion, free cash flow $4.4 billion. In Q4, it was a $3 billion increase in Tesla's cash and investments, now standing at almost $30 billion. Not bad, especially given the fact that Tesla in essence has no debt and now about $30 billion effectively in the bank. Model Y became the world's best-selling vehicle, which Tesla predicted. Fancy that. They did something they said they were going to do. Massive growth in energy deployments, 125% year-over-year growth. Madness. And Tesla flexing hard. 1.2 million Model Ys delivered for the full year. This is an astonishing feat. Tesla emphasizing that for a long time, many doubted the viability of electric vehicles. Given its premium price, the fact that this is outselling every other vehicle on the planet, to doubt the viability of electric vehicles today is an admission of brain damage. Also of note, Tesla's cost of goods sold per vehicle declined sequentially in Q4. In other words, it's getting cheaper for Tesla to make stuff, which is good. Just a few quick highlights regarding vehicle capacity. First, it's always worth paying attention to these greater than symbols. This requires the filling in of some blanks. Tesla's combined capacity at Fremont is currently 650,000. Shanghai, however, doesn't have a fixed figure. Instead, just says greater than 950,000. Could it be 1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 million? Only time will tell. First phase of Berlin, 375,000 units of Model Y capacity. Texas Model Y capacity, again, greater than 250,000 per year. Cybertruck, greater than 125,000 per year. Tesla's market share, trailing 12 months by region, US, Canada, Europe and China, continuing to trend higher from fractions of a percent half a decade ago or so, through the 1% barrier, through the 2% barrier, and now, depending on region, approaching 4% in the United States and Canada, and approaching 3% in Europe and China. To illustrate how efficient Tesla is, before Tesla purchased the Fremont factory, the record output from the previous owner was 430,000 vehicles made in a single year. In 2023, the Tesla Fremont factory produced nearly 560,000, 30% more annual production than the previous record under previous ownership. And a very interesting insight here regarding China. Production of the updated Model 3, the refreshed Model 3, ramped to full speed in less than 2 months? What the fuck? This is madness. I honestly don't know how Tesla pulled that off. Now to Europe. Model Y production in Berlin continued to grow in Q4, achieving both a record weekly production rate and a sequential increase in total production volume for the 7th consecutive quarter. And who doesn't love a good chart? On screen now, cumulative miles driven with FSD beta. This is what exponential growth looks like. I'm sure it's nothing. And Tesla's cost of goods sold per vehicle. Going back to Q4 2022, call it $39,500. As I record this, Q4 2023, most recent data, just over $36,000. More on cost of good declines on the notes from the earnings call. Tesla's growth in energy storage deployments, one of the smoothest exponential curves you will ever see. Just look at this. It's a thing of beauty. Musk has long warned investors that the energy business will grow at a much faster rate than the automotive business for many years, and we're seeing this in action. Just look at this. Roughly speaking, in 2018, gigawatt hours deployed, let's just round up to 1. 2023, over 14. Insane. We've also seen some strong growth in profits from Tesla's services and other businesses. From a pretty decent cash burn, losing as much as over $500 million in 2019 to now a profit of about $500 million in 2023. And now, as always, my favorite charts, every presentation, trailing 12-month metrics, vehicle deliveries, operating cash flow and free cash flow, plus net income and adjusted EBITDA. Vehicle deliveries trending in the right direction, aka up. It's quite evident looking at operating cash flow and free cash flow now. We can see the peak where Tesla's vehicle prices, described by Elon Musk himself as embarrassingly high, were having an outsized impact on Tesla's financials, getting a little bit back toward reality now. And the trend in net income and adjusted EBITDA again, heading in the right direction. And now my notes from the earnings call. First, Elon's opening remarks. 2023, another record year for Tesla. Surprise, surprise. This will be the same story for at least the next decade, maybe 15 plus years, if not indefinitely. Record vehicle production. Record vehicle deliveries. Around 1.8 million vehicles delivered, which was in line with guidance. Tesla's annualized rate of production in Q4, approximately 2 million per year. As we heard earlier, Fremont, 560,000 vehicles produced, a record. And it's currently the highest output automotive plant in the United States. And it's in the Bay Area. which is just mind-blowing. Again, Model Y now the world's best-selling vehicle globally. Stunning feat, something that Tesla said would happen, and then it happened. Fancy that. Huge growth in Tesla's stationary storage business. Again, we heard triple-digit year-over-year growth. And again, Musk pointing out that it will grow faster than the car business. Free cash flow, $4.4 billion in 2023, despite, excuse the typos, record capital expenditure and record R&D expenses. Tesla is currently between two growth waves. The first, ramping with the Model Y. The second will be the next-gen vehicle platform. An extremely big deal with FSD V12 now starting to roll out, which is end-to-end AI. As Musk points out, photons in, controls out, which is exactly how humans function. 330,000 plus lines of C++ code have been replaced with neural nets. An astonishing technological feat that most people will ignore, not comprehend, and will probably regret. Musk also points out that Tesla is probably the most efficient company in the world for AI inference, which is out of necessity, given the fact that some of their vehicles have older hardware for AI inference in their fleet. They've got to make it work. At another big milestone, Tesla's new Model 3 has released globally. Regarding the next-gen vehicle, Tesla is very far along, and this vehicle will be profound, not just the vehicle design itself, which, by the way, hint, 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 if you're describing the vehicle design as profound, I think it might take a few people by surprise, but also profound is the revolutionary advanced manufacturing system, which again, Tesla unveiled the modular manufacturing system and everyone went, "Oh, I'm disappointed, there was no rendering of the vehicle." Now, the first location for this vehicle will be out of Austin, and then it will roll out to other locations globally, probably Mexico second, and then a third location is likely to be identified outside of North America late this year or early next year. And we also heard that Tesla's intent here with every vehicle, just for the record, although they did explicitly spell it out, is that V1 of this production line in Austin, what Tesla learns there will be improved upon for the next location, and what they learn there will be improved upon for the next location. Musk also says, quote, "I do see a path," which isn't an easy one, "where Tesla could become the most valuable company in the world," which, as I record this, the most valuable companies in the world, give or take, let's call it $3 trillion. That would mean almost a 5x just from where we are today, assuming those other companies don't grow any further, which they will. Some CFO comments: despite high rates and inflation, Tesla had another record year of production deliveries and energy deployments. Tesla now close to $100 billion in revenue. They did $4.4 billion in free cash flow. I'll tell you what, I wish I was doing $4.4 billion in free cash flow every year. Almost $30 billion in cash and equivalents. Shout out to my typos. Auto gross margin improved sequentially. Cool story, bro. I might have misheard that. I don't remember. I don't really care. Auto gross margins. Yeah, let's talk about AI instead. We are approaching limits in cost reductions in current platforms. Now, this is an interesting insight. Again, it should go without saying, but sometimes you've got to point out the obvious things. There's only one gigantic casting you can implement in a vehicle. You can't keep doing that. Actually, technically, you can do the back and then the front, but you guys get the point, right? There's been a few step changes in terms of cost reductions that Tesla's implemented around thermal management, huge cast pieces, etc. But now for them to continue squeezing cost out of their current generation vehicle platforms, they continue to discover they have diminishing returns. Not that they're stopping, it just gets exponentially more difficult to drive cost out, which again, should go without saying. However, this is what the next-gen vehicle and the manufacturing system is all about. Another step change in cost reductions. Tesla data shows that around 90% of their buyers in 2023 have never owned a Tesla vehicle before. Again, energy storage deployments more than doubled and revenues for energy storage up more than 50%. Focus in 2024, grow output, reduce costs, and invest aggressively in future projects. I believe $10 billion of expenditure in future investment this year. Regarding Tesla's next generation vehicle, huge bombshell, and I mean huge. Musk starting this comment with, take it with a grain of salt, but our current schedule says that we will start production towards the end of 2025 on the next gen vehicle. Were you listening? It's currently 2024. That's next year. Toward the end of next year. That's Tesla's current plan, current schedule. Now, of course, this could change, but that's what they're aiming for right now. Now, I could have guessed this. In fact, I have been guessing this, but they're now on the record. They've told us what they're aiming for. Big deal. That said, there is a lot of new technology. It is super revolutionary. So Elon had a lot of caveats, but once it's going, it will be head and shoulders above any other automotive manufacturing technology. It's next level. And again, Elon doubles down. It does seem quite likely that we will start production next year. Asked about the 4680 cell ramp rate, Tesla confirming that the 4680 ramp is ahead of the Cybertruck ramp. Now, regarding Elon's desire for 25% voting rights at Tesla, which again, I called ahead of time, discuss this in detail and explain exactly what Elon has now said out loud. Just to be clear, Musk says that he sees a path to creating an AI and robotics juggernaut with immense capability and power, and his concern would be that if he has so little influence at that stage, that he could be voted out by some random shareholder advisory firm. He says he wants to be an effective steward of very powerful technology, and who could blame the guy, especially after the history with OpenAI, his concerns, the whole clusterfuck there. Makes sense. This is why he picked roughly 25% voting rights, as he points out. That won't allow him to control the company, but it is enough that he has strong influence. But if he goes completely crazy and everyone wants to kick him out, they still can. Only 25%. Musk also pointed out that he's happy with dual-class shares. In other words, he doesn't necessarily want more ownership of Tesla, and he emphasized it's not about economics, it's not about money. He just wants the 25% voting. And if this can be achieved with dual-class shares, so be it. No more ownership of the company, but 25% voting, Musk will be happy. So much for the NPCs, the derps, and the haters who claimed that Elon was holding investors hostage and demanding billions and billions and billions of dollars of compensation, otherwise he'll just stop working. Idiots. There was a question about automotive gross margins. I don't know why. I must have made a typo there. Why would those words appear after that? Tesla's CFO said that Tesla constantly focuses on cost reduction across the board, but it's very difficult to predict cost reductions, obviously. As a result, very difficult to predict gross automotive margins. After all, they do not have a crystal ball. Now, Musk did say this. He thinks that if rates come down, as in interest rates, quickly, margins will be good. If they do not, then margins probably won't be good. And Musk pointing out the obvious, lots of people want to buy their vehicles, but can't afford to buy them. Duh. A reiteration that Tesla is between two major growth waves, and that 2024 volume will be lower due to the focus on the launch of the next-gen vehicle, which again, kind of obvious. Regarding the Giga Nevada expansion plus Giga Mexico, Tesla has broken ground on the Giga Nevada expansion, which will produce Semi and other projects. Regarding Mexico, Tesla's going to wait for success of the next-gen vehicle in Austin first, as in figuring out the core technology. But early works are already underway for Mexico. When asked about other automotive manufacturers contacting Tesla regarding FSD licensing, Musk responded that they have had tentative conversations, but he doesn't get the sense that these companies believe FSD is ready yet or will be ready anytime soon. Musk then strongly suggesting that if he were a CEO of another automotive company, he would definitely be calling Tesla to ask about licensing FSD. And a bombshell, and I mean an actual bombshell, not the only one by the way, shout out to whoever asked this question. When will Optimus first production occur? Check this out. Now, keep in mind, Elon does have an optimism bias. Welcome to the club. But first, Musk emphasizes that Optimus is very new. It's an extremely revolutionary product, and their bot business has the potential to far exceed the value of everything else at Tesla combined. Again, duh. But doesn't fit in endless spreadsheets yet, so they should probably just ignore it, right? It's not like a big opportunity. Now, here's the bombshell. Elon said that there's a good chance of shipping some number of Optimus units next year. What? Shipping, as in to customers. Not building for their own use, to customers. This is batshit insane. I didn't see this coming. Or did I? I'm just kidding. I did see it coming. Shout out to my Tesla Valuation model, available exclusively on Patreon. Click the link in the pinned comment, join it in the Investor Love and above. I have Tesla's first humanoid robots in the bull case, which again accounts for my optimism bias. Shipping to customers in, wait for it, 2025. Regardless of when this actually happens, do not sleep on the potential of Tesla's humanoid robot. As Musk points out, this has the potential to be the most valuable product ever by far. Think about that for a moment. Most valuable product ever by far. If you produce the most valuable product ever by far, I wonder what kind of financial implications producing at volume the most valuable by far product ever might have for a company. Something that you should definitely think about. Regarding Cybertruck, Tesla disclosing that the reservation to conversion rate is very encouraging, and they are very much production constrained, not demand constrained. Also pointing out, and if you're a regular viewer, you'll have heard me say essentially the exact same thing. Tesla could dramatically raise the price of the Cybertruck, but doing so wouldn't feel right. They don't want to gouge customers, and I've literally said this. Demand is off the hook, and Musk suggesting that he can see Tesla doing 250,000 units a year of Cybertruck in the United States, maybe more long term, and I personally think he's massively underestimating, but hey, I'm just some dickhead on the internet, so what would I know? And starting this quarter, as in Q1 2024, Tesla will begin sharing their energy volumes in their quarterly releases, e.g. vehicle volumes plus energy deployments. Did not see this coming. Regarding Tesla's return on investment on advertising and expansion of their advertising campaigns, Tesla emphasizing that their main focus in terms of selling more vehicles is cost reduction, but they are aware that low awareness around electric vehicles is an issue. Tesla ran some campaigns to test and gain insights to raise awareness and measure their return on spend. The main focus was to raise awareness of products and to emphasize things like the lower cost of ownership. We also heard from Tesla that they did a campaign, I believe in Texas, I don't recall exactly, but 10 million people saw this campaign, presumably online advertising, maybe not. And that resulted in approximately 500,000 additional people heading to the Tesla website. That's an extremely high conversion rate of customers taking action after seeing this. If you understand online advertising, you'll get it right. That's a crazy high click-through rate, so to speak, 5%. And of most note was that Tesla said that these customers who'd seen this advertising acted essentially the same as a customer who discovered Tesla's website organically. In other words, when customers became aware of the benefits and the insights, they behaved just like a customer who already wanted to learn more about a Tesla and or buy one. A very promising sign. On to the institutional questions regarding costs. Tesla again emphasizing that they're constantly looking for ways to reduce costs, but it is now a game of pennies. And obviously the pace of cost reductions will slow. With new products and much more volume, e.g. the next-gen vehicle platform, there is opportunity to renegotiate with suppliers, however, another way to drive costs out. And we also heard a really random example I just thought it was worth sharing. Tesla's inbound logistics costs were down 22% year over year. And quote, "Our cars are more computer than car," which means, obviously, Tesla gets to ride down the computer and electronics cost curve declines. When asked about Tesla's current addressable market with their current products, in short, no fucking idea, it's hard to say, blah, 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 which is fair. But one way to think about it is to look at the automotive industry. Electric vehicles still make up a tiny percent of the total share, but obviously Tesla can't give a specific number. And they're right. The best you can do is guess, have an educated guess. It's a combination of art and science. However, Tesla is currently roughly about 2% of annual vehicle sales globally, which means there's still 98% left, something to ponder. Now, regarding the Model Y, absolutely embarrassing the so-called competition by being the world's best-selling vehicle. As we know, some of the other world's best-selling vehicles by unit volume, each on a good year, roughly call it 1 million units. RAV4, Corolla, Honda Civic, significantly cheaper to buy than a Model Y. This shows that people are really stretching for a Model Y despite it being much more expensive than other high-volume cars. Just you wait until Tesla's next-gen vehicle platform ramps up and is available for a fraction the cost of today's Model Y, which is already doing 1.2 million units per year and growing. When asked about Tesla AI Day for 2024, Musk disclosed something quite interesting. He said that we have found that when we do these AI days, some of our competitors look at what we do on a frame-by-frame basis and then copy. So we do need to be a little cautious about revealing the exact recipe of the secret sauce, but we'll probably do another AI Day this year. And the main focus of AI Days is recruiting. Regarding the Chinese EV invasion, Musk says that generally Chinese EV companies are the most competitive in the world. And check this out. If there are not trade barriers established, as in insane import duties, tariffs, and so on, are you listening? Make sure you're sitting down for this. They will pretty much demolish all the other car companies in the world. They are extremely good. Now, I feel like we've heard this before, but now, straight from the horse's mouth, I'm telling you, the future of the automotive industry, number 1, Tesla, number 2 through 10, Chinese EV makers. 1 or 2 miraculous exceptions, but they will be exceptions. On the next-gen vehicle platform, Tesla confirming they're currently validating the manufacturing systems and that 48-volt architecture will be carried forward, and that there's also a lot of specialized machines that make the machine for the next-gen vehicle. In other words, Tesla has to design a machine that has never existed to build a car in a way that has never existed. So you don't just have to validate the vehicle or the production systems, but the actual equipment used to produce the vehicle. There's no off-the-shelf stuff, which is typical. The good news is, quote, "It does make it very hard to copy us because you need to make the machine that makes the machine that makes the machine. There is no place to go to order the machines to make our next generation car because they don't exist. So good fucking luck for anyone attempting to copy this. I'm telling you, this is the vehicle that kills the legacy automotive industry." On Dojo, NVIDIA GPUs, and FSD improvement, Musk points out that Tesla is hedging their bets with significant orders of GPUs, which I guess you also pointed out the legacy term probably needs to go after all. They're no longer graphical processing units, are they? And a lot of FSD progress is training limited, which makes sense, right? The more effort you put into training, the less effort you need in inference. We do need a lot of training, Musk says. And we're using a dual path of NVIDIA chips and Dojo. Musk emphasizing that Dojo is high risk, but very high payoff. And he gave an example too of driving a car, right? First few times you drive a car, you need 100% of your concentration just on driving the vehicle. But after a number of years, you can be actively thinking about something else because you've done so much training now that the actual active compute for inference, very little compute is required. And another fascinating point, something a few years ago most people would not have seen coming and most people will probably ignore, but they shouldn't. When Tesla cars are not in use in the future, they could potentially run generalized AI tasks, GPT, etc. Quote, it's possible with the right architectural decisions that Tesla may have more inference compute than everyone else combined. And if you can't join the dots, I'll do it for you. If your Tesla vehicle, isn't actively working as a robotaxi, maybe it's 3 a.m. and there's not that much demand, it instead could be part of a Tesla AI task fleet in which you opt in and allow those who need to perform tasks with AI, e.g. talk to their LLM, to utilize compute from your Tesla and you get paid while you're asleep, literally, because it's 3 a.m. Another way that in the future Tesla vehicles could potentially print money for their owners while the owner sleeps or is at work or fill in the blank. And one final comment here regarding the opportunity for cost of goods sold to go lower this year. Musk pointed out something rather interesting, which again goes without saying, but sometimes it is worth saying. Given Tesla's current scale, roughly $1 billion of revenue per year, a 1% cost reduction, in other words, saving 1 penny out of $1 across the business, results in $1 billion saved at Tesla's current scale. $1 billion for a 1% cost reduction. This is fucking crazy. You know what's even crazier, however? Fast forward to the point where Tesla's at $1 trillion a year in total revenues, and yes, it will happen. A 1% cost reduction then. $10 billion. Absolute madness. We're starting to get a sense of the incredible scale Tesla's already at, yet they're still just getting started. I suspect that many folks on Wall Street will be crying about Tesla's earnings this quarter, but we got some incredible insights, a couple of bombshells there. The insights about Tesla vehicles potentially being used for AI tasks in the future. If you can join the dots, this is a big deal. The fact that no other company will be able to copy Tesla's next-gen vehicle platform because they literally can't buy the machines because Tesla's having to design, engineer, and make the actual machines, a big deal. Another massive bombshell, Tesla's current schedule has them starting production on their next-gen vehicle towards the end of 2025. What? And a good chance of shipping Optimus next year? Bro, huge. I'm just kidding here. I'm going to go cry in the corner now over Tesla's short term. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. It's an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a fuck ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. It certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point. It's something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy, wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely, it's not that AG1, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it. You'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, snake oil salmon's sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links in the pinned comment, see you over on Twitter and or Patreon, and don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.